So I just walked away from a 7-year relationship. It's
Hey Bestie, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Bestie, like the video because it helps with my algorithm. So in today's video, we'll be talking about women exposed why they ended their last relationship. So I put the stitches together so that you watch. I'll be back to share my experiences.
so I just walked away from a 7-year relationship. It sounds so weird saying those words because when I tell you I was invested and I truly could not see my life without this person. I tried everything, did everything towards the end when things got really bad to just hold things together at the expense of myself. And I really lost myself in a relationship that was just not healthy. But because I wanted it so bad, I was able to thrive in such a toxic environment just because I wanted to grasp onto something that no longer served me. And as I navigate heartbreak and, my new life, it's really bittersweet. You think about the memories, you remember the good times, you remember the way the person made you feel. But the bitterness comes in when, and I don't mean bitterness as in I'm bitter, but when you think about the analogy of the term bittersweet, the bitter part of it is just, it got really, really bad towards the end. And I no longer, this person became unrecognizable. The things this person did to me, I did not know he was even capable of doing them. I went through everything that you could imagine. And what really sucked was it was my very first and only relationship. So I was joking with my friend the other day because, when I talk to other women about exes and relationships, they have so many stories about, oh, this ex was the cheater, but this ex was mean, this ex was abusive, this ex, whatever, right? I feel like I've experienced every negative encounter that you can experience in a relationship in my only relationship. So, like, the trauma, oh my God. I am traumatized. Like, I can't lie. Like, I am so traumatized. Like, everything came to a head really quick. And oh my God. But I am navigating new life. I am able to wake up, I'm sorry, and walk and do my hair and take care of myself because I am choosing to show up and to lead with love. And what that means is that regardless of how he treated me, regardless of how betrayed I feel or how broken I feel, I know that there's so much power in love. And I chose to set my intentions on that. And not in a way where I am escaping anything or not holding him accountable. I just want to be happy. I just want to move on. There's so much power and freedom in knowing that someone isn't for you and being okay with that. And there's also power in accountability because I knowingly stayed in a relationship that didn't feel right for a very long time because I loved the person and I was in love with the person. But the lesson in it for me is to see how I contributed to my own harm, to my own suffering. I participated in helping someone to bring me down to the point where I lost almost 40 pounds, spiritually exhausted, emotionally exhausted, physically exhausted. And I'm not victim shaming myself, but we have to see the part that we play in the things that affect us in our everyday lives. And I allowed a lot of bad things to happen to myself because I had the best intentions, because I gave the benefit of the doubt, because I wasn't clear. But for me to truly move on and let go, I have to honor my love for him, the love that was available for him, and I have to let go with love. I cannot thrive in toxicity or dysfunction. I'm not the kind of person that wants to seek revenge. I don't want to get my lick back. Like, I don't want to do none of that. I just want to let go and see what God is going to replace this horrible part of my life with. The weight of bitterness and depression and anger will be lifted from you if you decide that I want to love and be loved regardless of what I experienced. And you take your power back when you decide to just be beautiful from the inside out. Because if I don't like the way that you handle me, made me feel, why the fuck would I handle you like that or anybody else? And that's where integrity and character comes in. And I've always prided myself on those things. I don't want to trivialize the pain of heartbreak because, baby, I have been in a lot of emotional and physical pain. But choosing love is always the answer. And we can only meet people where we meet ourselves. And love is just my default. Like, it comes so easy to me. Like, in the midst of the most disrespectful experiences that I've experienced, with my ex, I was still able to be loved because I am loved. And I just think that is so beautiful. So if anyone is struggling with heartbreak, disappointment, I really encourage you to focus on just being loving. And
the question I get all the time is, how did you leave your baby daddy? And girl, let me tell you, I think when you're leaving a relationship that's that serious, there's stages. Because it's so emotional, and I think that as women, we just want to know that we did everything right. Like, we're just like, okay, did we exhaust all our options? Like, is this really it? Is this really the end? And something that my mom said that really resonated with me was, instead of thinking about this as like, this is so final and all these things, think about like, okay, I'm leaving this relationship right now because this relationship here, this does not serve me. And if you're like me, I was the type of girl where like, it's hard for me to leave relationships. Like, I'm loyal, I'm a ride or die, like all those things. So prepping my mind and thinking about things differently, where it's like, oh, okay, I'm leaving this now, but there's still maybe this like hope for the future, or things could change. That actually helped me to be able to take a step back. So I went through what I basically would like to call like my separation. We weren't married, but I basically treated a full like year, 10 months. I was like, we're separated. If you want to get back together, you have to do X, Y, and Z. And if you don't do those things, then we get like our divorce. Because I never wanted to be that couple or those parents that would like break up, get back together, break up, get back together. I never wanted to put my daughter through that. And I also think a lot of the time, when you're dealing with that kind of man, they can just like manipulate and sweet talk and do all those things, where I was just like, I went with my therapist and I made a list of all the things that I would need in order to feel comfortable to like re-enter this relationship. And if he didn't do those things, then I'm out. But what really gave me the courage to leave originally was like, I was like, I'm not missing out on anything here. This relationship here, this sucks. Like, the way that you're treating me is not how I want to be treated. It's not what I want to show my daughter. It's easy to walk away from that. And for me to not, in that moment when I was still in love, when I was still like, had all of those thoughts of, did I do like everything that I could for my family? Feeling like, okay, not right now, this isn't it right now, made it a lot easier to create that distance for myself so that I could like emotionally detach and then be like, oh, wait, there's so much going on here that is not okay. And then I like gained my strength back, Anyways, I hope that helps. Love you, bye. All right, you guys, so these are happy tears because I was just like worshiping, and I just feel like I need to share this. And I think I've said this before, how I fell in love with a Muslim man. And I remember that after losing our baby, I fell into this really bad depression, and the only way that I could get out was to get closer to my faith. And I started to realize that as I got closer to my faith, we got separate. And I didn't understand why, that I was becoming a better person and a better woman and a godly woman, and yet we were becoming unequally yoked. And this is a person that I love, that I still have so much love for, right? Because you spend 7 years with someone, you're about to spend the rest of your life with someone. But I feel like losing my baby was something that made me realize, like, you want me to give up my child's faith, and you want me to be okay with my child not knowing the person that loves me unconditionally, because yeah, I love you, But your love is only temporary. It's only what we're here on earth. But God loves me unconditionally. He loved me when I was homeless. He loved me when I had nothing. He loves me no matter what. He's never forsaken me. And these are happy tears, by the way. And I couldn't come to terms with us having another child or spending the rest of my life knowing that I gave up my child's faith, that my child will not know Jesus, that my child won't know the God that I know and the love that I know, because he loves me so dearly. And I remember that our relationship was taking a toll, because I began investing a lot of myself in my faith, and it was causing us conflict in our relationship. And this is not to bash him, because I still honor and respect him and whatever it is that he believes in. I'm not going to be the one to tell him anything else, but this was me, right? And I began to pray to God, and I remember saying that if it wasn't for me to destroy it, and I was in pain so much because I had just lost a baby, and I was like, God, if this relationship is not for me to destroy it, I didn't want it. That if it meant that I had to give up my love for him, or that it meant that I had to compromise me knowing him, that I didn't want it. And I just want to tell you that if you're conflicted, if you don't know what to do, just trust in God. Ask him to guide you, because he guided me and he destroyed the relationship. He destroyed it. And I thought that I could never be okay from that. I didn't know how I was going to recover. And boy, did I fall into a bad depression. But just like he got me through all the other trials and tribulations in my life, he got me through this. He did. And it's not to get you to believe in what I believe in, but it's just to say that I can't love a man who doesn't love the God that I love. The God that has been there for me, that has never forsaken me. I'm sorry, but I can't. And I still love him so much. But I just love my God. Sorry, guys, I had to get myself together. I was worshiping, and it just came to me like that. I felt like I had to share this story, because I'm sure I'm not the only one that maybe has experienced something like that, or maybe trying to alter who they are or leave a part of them behind because of a love or for something that is presented to them. But I just want you to know that don't ever give up your faith for love. Don't ever alter your faith for love. Don't ever change who you are or what you know for the love that God gives you. And I had to make a decision that was so hard that, man, I was broken. I couldn't tell you the things that I went through during that time. And as I was worshiping, all I could think of was like, man, God, you got me through that again. Like every time, he just never fails. He never fails me. And all I could think about is like, you love me so much. So much. He loves me so much. And like, how could I have ever thought that for a second that I was going to give up that love for someone that I love here on earth? Oh, guys, it's not worth it, man. It's not worth it.
just have faith and trust that, just trust in him. If I could just say that, just trust in him. That's all I could say. And I was just so grateful and filled with like this love and compassion. And if you guys know my story, you know, like, oh my God, I've come a long way and I'm nowhere where I want to be. But this whole time he's been pruning me and pruning me and pruning me. And part of that process is letting go of things that are not meant to be in your life. And it's not to bash him and it's not to dismantle what we had. But the reality is I made a decision. And I asked him to destroy it, that if it wasn't for me, to destroy it. And he did. So now when I decide to love again, when I decide to meet someone again, he has to know God first. He has to know the man that I know. He has to love the Jesus that I know, the God that I love. Because two unequally yoked people could never be. And I learned that the hard way.
So I broke up my engagement last July, and I never shared why on TikTok because, quite frankly, it's nobody's business. However, I know a lot of people are very curious, and while I will not dive into the details of my relationship online because I feel like that's a little tacky, I will share a fun little story. And this story is going to tell you everything you need to know about why I left that man. So let's take it back to his birthday last year. His birthday is in March. So the night before his birthday, we go out to dinner with his family at a really nice restaurant. And at this said restaurant, my ex has a full cake, like literally an entire cake with candles. We sing him happy birthday. He blows out his candles. He makes a birthday wish and he proceeds to eat what I believe was like 2 slices of cake. Badass. The next day is his birthday. However, let's preface this by saying about 6 weeks before that, I asked him very casually, hey, what's your like dream breakfast, like death row breakfast? And he tells me that it's like this Mediterranean kind of charcuterie board with like fresh fruits, kind of like a king style breakfast. So I noted that. Let's roll it back to the day of his birthday. So instead of giving him a gift, I gave him a day full of experiences because this man already had everything. Mind you, this is all a surprise. He doesn't know anything about what we're doing the day of his birthday. So I wake up at like the crack ass of dawn to make this man his like dream charcuterie board breakfast. I went to like a specialty shop and bought like special hummus. I did the whole 9 yards. If you look up like Middle Eastern breakfast on Pinterest, that's pretty much what I made him. So I bring him the charcuterie board with his breakfast and he kind of makes fun of it, starts making jokes about it. He's like, what is this? And I'm like, that's your death row breakfast that you said was like your dream breakfast for kings. And here you go. Whatever, kind of hurt my feelings because I put a lot of work and effort into that breakfast. I gave him grace because it's his birthday. So then I tell him what the first activity is. And I had booked us a horseback riding on the beach. Immediately he's like, oh my God, I can't believe you did that. Like that's for you, not for me. So basically he was like not excited to go at all. And mind you, I had already paid for this. So I was like, okay, well, it's your birthday. Like we don't have to go, we can cancel. And he's like, no, let's just go. So we show up and it's a group activity, but it's not that many people. It's like 2 other couples and us. And we ride horseback along the beach. It was so beautiful, like something out of a movie. And I'm just enjoying myself, like trying to hype him up and have him enjoy himself too. And the whole time this man was complaining and so miserable. He looked so miserable. So after the horseback riding ends is our next activity. And I booked us a couples massage at a 5-star hotel, the Faina, which is like a really nice hotel, really, really nice spa. And I thought we were going to have our massage and then enjoy the amenities. And then I thought we were going to have lunch at the Faina after. Like that's what I had planned for us. As soon as I park the car and then we're about to get out and go to the Faina, he literally tells me he doesn't want to do this. So I was like, okay. I mean, I guess I can call and cancel, but I'm going to have to pay like same day cancellation fee. But it's your birthday. Like we could do whatever you want. He's like, no, fine, whatever. I don't want you to get charged a fee. Let's just go. So we go, we have our couples massage. It was lovely. And then I thought we were going to enjoy the amenities for like at least an hour, maybe 2. 20 minutes goes by and he's like, I want to go home. I'm like, okay, are you sure you don't want to have like lunch at the Faina? And he was like, no, I just want to go home. So I'm like, all right, let's go home. We get home And he's like, what's for dinner? I had booked us a really nice sushi restaurant in Brickell. And he's like, no, I don't want to do that. Cancel it. So I canceled the reservation as per his request. And at this point, we are starving. It's like 3 p.m. and we hadn't eaten since like 7 a.m. So I asked him, hey, are you hungry? Like, what do you want? I'll order us food. He's like, I'm not hungry. I don't want anything. I'm like, are you sure? Like, tell me whatever you want. Like, I'll get it. And he insisted that he wasn't hungry and that he didn't want anything. So then I said, hey, I'm going to order myself something from Rice, which is a Mediterranean spot. He was very persistent that he was not hungry and he did not want anything. So I ordered myself a platter, a chicken platter, and it was huge. Usually we share this platter, okay? So the food gets there and I go get it from the foyer and then I put it into 2 plates. And then he looks at me, he goes, you didn't get me my own meal. I was like, you literally told me that you didn't want anything. I have been so patient at this point, but I am literally about to blow. The final straw was the evening rolls around and he's like, okay, where's my cake? I was like, cake? You had a cake yesterday. You wanted 2 cakes? Mind you, the restaurant that we were gonna go to, the sushi place, knew it was his birthday and I'm pretty sure they were gonna bring out a dessert with a candle on it, but he made me cancel that. So no, I didn't prepare another cake ahead of time, considering the fact that you already had a cake yesterday. Then this man literally starts to bitch at me and tell me how inconsiderate, how I am so not thoughtful because I didn't get him a second birthday cake. And he made me cry on his birthday. I spent so much money on that day. I think it was about $300 for the horseback riding plus tip, and then about $500 for the couples massages plus tip. And then I was going to drop at least another $200 on dinner. So like $1,000 in total. And this man did not appreciate anything, complained the entire time and was miserable all day. And then he made me cry on his birthday. And that should just tell you everything you need to know about why I left.
Here's a list of why I broke up with men. Like small things to you, but not to me. He asked me how much my bills were and then never offered to pay them. Why are you asking? Okay? He asked me how much I made. Why do you need to know how much I'm making? You should never consider my money as your money. He didn't pick up a tab, okay? He let my friend's boyfriend split the tab with him. That's fucking embarrassing, okay? He said he'd call and he didn't call, so I blocked him. Now he can never call. He went on a Christmas trip with his family and the entire trip didn't message me. When he messaged me, I told him I was seeing another man. Because obviously I didn't hear from you. I thought you were dead. I was concerned about you. I was concerned. I genuinely thought this man was like hurt because why are you not messaging me during your trip? Okay. Same man. He told me that he was going to get me a Christmas gift and it was after Christmas. And guess what? During Christmas, I was seeing other men that were in town, seeing their families. Okay? And I had so many Christmas gifts. Okay? I told him I needed help with my rent, different guy, and he didn't offer to pay it. He said, I have money problems. I don't deal with men that have money problems because you're now my problem. Okay. That's disturbing. He asked me to help him furnish his house. Am I your fucking wife? Do I look like I got your fucking ring? Do I look like I have a ring? No. So why am I helping you furnish your house? It's gonna look like Barbie threw up all over it. And I didn't. I just looked at his house and I was like, sounds like you got it. Okay, and he was like, do you want to go shopping with me? I said, are you buying me furniture? He said, no. I said, then no. Why would I go furniture shopping with you? I'm not your fucking wife, okay? A man asked me to move in with him. Move in with you? He said, a different man, said that when I married him, I would need to stay home. I said, huh? He said, yeah, I need you to stay home and like clean and do all of those things. And I said, are we going to be hiring people? He said, yeah, but like I still need you home. And I said, I like to travel, okay? I'm not going to do that. Another man asked me to travel for work with him. Huh?
So today marks 6 months since I left my relationship. And when I say I got more of a validation today than I ever needed, let me tell you, I am the most happy that I've been in a very, very long time. I just sat and reflected on that day, and I don't have not a single regret. I'm so happy with the decision that I made. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you that it was easy, because it took me a long time. Chance after chance, thinking about not wanting to break up my family. I didn't want to be the person to split my family up. You know what? I wasn't going to be the person that stayed for the simple fact of what? Because I have a kid with this person. But mentally and emotionally, I'm all messed up. So I've been going back and forth with being so happy to crying tears of joy, because that was so brave of me. I don't come from a family where women leave. I come from a family where you stick it out, you stay too damn long, and then next thing you know, you're all messed up in the head because you stayed in a relationship that was not good anymore. Like, I know that it gets hard to leave relationships, especially when you thought that this person was going to be your husband. Y'all were going to make more kids, create a bigger family. It's really difficult to just up and leave. I didn't really know how my life would look moving forward, or moving on per se. I didn't know how I was going to maybe pay for this or pay for that. But one thing I could say is I knew I would be okay. I knew it was going to be a challenge, and it was going to be difficult, because the transition from a 2 to a 1 parent household is not easy. But I always told myself, you're going to be all right. God not gonna leave you to fail. And I've been all right. I've been okay. You know, I take care of myself now. I feel so much better. And I said I ain't gonna cry on this app, but I want to tell you, when you're in a relationship with somebody and you don't feel like yourself no more, when they are constantly making you feel down about something, when it's not healthy anymore, get the fuck. I don't care what society has to say about single woman, single mama saga, whatever. Call it what you want. I had to leave to regain my happiness. I am at peace. I sleep well at night. And baby, my child is still taken care of, and she's fine. She's fine. Oh my gosh. I'm so happy.
Today I realized that I am not this man's dream woman, and that finally gave me the courage to just let him go. It is so hard for me to let go of a guy that I really like, but I have to get so for real about dating and stop trying to turn red flags yellow. Here's what happened. I met this guy 6 weeks ago at my friend's wedding in Nigeria. Him and I were so into each other. We had this incredible connection that I kid you not, I have never had with anyone. It was so strong, and like we both felt it and were able to communicate it to each other. The issue though is, of course, he lives in London and I live in New York. We get back to our respective countries, and because he has a really demanding job in finance, he would finish work at like 9, 10, 11 p.m. and then we'd be on the phone 4 hours. I kid you not, literally we were on the phone at one point for like 4, 5 hours. Because I had communicated to him how intentional I am with dating right now, he ended up just kind of like not cutting things off, but just trying to put things on pause, because he was like, I am just not able to give you the time and attention that you deserve. And you know what? For me, it was like, I was understanding. I get it. Like, it's not sustainable for us to have these kind of lengthy conversations, for you to be going to bed every day at 2, 3 a.m. And, you know, you have to choose your career, because at the end of the day, I told him I'm looking for a provider, man. But I am of the belief that if a man wants to, he will, and he doesn't want to, so he won't, and he has not. I cut him out of my life completely, and at this point, you know, I haven't spoken to him in a month, but guess what? I am now in London. Because we didn't end things on a bad note and I still really liked him, I wanted to see him. So I call him up and I'm like, hey, I am, in London, I'd love to see you. And he's like, oh my gosh, I thought I'd never hear from you. It would be such a pleasure to see you. I'll hit you back and let you know like what we can do. He messages me the next day and he's like, oh, I've just had the longest day. I'm not gonna be able to see you tonight. I'm gonna try and see, if we can link up tomorrow. Otherwise, I'd love to see you when I get to New York in a couple of weeks. And I just blocked him. I blocked him. I deleted his number, and I completely deleted our chat because I didn't like how that message made me feel. It felt so careless. It made me feel like an afterthought, and it made me realize that you are not willing to sacrifice truly anything for me. I therefore am just not your dream woman. I'm deserving of a man that will literally part the sea.
The best thing that I ever did was randomly wake up one day and decide I no longer want that for myself. Like one day I just randomly decided I no longer want this person to make me feel this way. And it's crazy because out of all the bullshit I went through, it took a random day where literally nothing happened. It was actually a good day for me to decide this is my final day dealing with shit. And it's crazy because no matter how much people I spoke to about the relationship and my problems, or like how many times this man showed his ass, it still wasn't clicking, Steven. Like I still wasn't getting it. Like I literally just woke up with more strength than the day before, and I was like, I need tomorrow's situation to be better. And it starts with me leaving this nigga. Like, what the fuck? And the day I did that, I never looked back, y'all. Like I never needed closure. I never looked back. I didn't stalk their page. I didn't look for the new bitch. I literally got rid of everything that associated me to that man. Like every single thing down to my phone number, y'all. And I just revoked all access to me, literally. So I say all of this to say, like, if you think you stuck, you're not. You're stuck on stupid. And life did not end when that relationship ended for me. It actually got better. Take notes.
I left the man that I loved for the man that I deserve. I was in a relationship for 10 years and decided to leave that relationship because he was no longer the man of my dreams. He was a good boyfriend and he never cheated on me, and we were good to each other, but when it came to alignment and what I deserved and what I wanted and saw for myself and my future kids, I wanted to give my kids the best possible father I could, as well as like the best possible life I could give them. And love is not enough for that. So I left. It took me years of contemplation, but now I am in pursuit of finding the man of my dreams again, and somebody who will give my children and me the best possible life. Because at the end of the day, it's not about what you want, it's about what you deserve and what you plan on giving yourself. Because you're young, you're hot, you might as well live your best possible life, especially the one life that you have, the one body that you have, the one like time period that you have. Like, don't waste it away on settling.
That's a video, bestie. So I'm just here just to add on like what I think about today's video, why women ended their last relationships. So one of the most common reasons women say they ended their things is feeling unseen and unheard. You can be in a relationship sharing the same bed every night but still feel like you're completely invisible to the person you're with. Imagine constantly putting love, effort and attention into someone, but they can't even be bothered to ask how your days was. The emotion and regret eats away at you. Many women say they realize they were in love with a vision of him that only existed in their head. The man he could be, not the man he was choosing to be. That's when they knew it was time to let go. Another reason that came up again and again was betrayal. And basically, betrayal is not just about cheating. Yes, a lot of women left because they caught their partner being unfaithful, but others say the betrayal was deeper. It was broken promises, lies, lack of integrity. One woman said it wasn't even the cheating itself that hurt the most, but the fact that he could look in her eyes and deny everything, even when the truth was right there. The kind of dishonesty breaks something inside of you, and once trust is gone, it's nearly impossible to rebuild. Then there's the issue of effort. Relationships are supposed to be partnership, not one-sided project. A lot of women admitted they stayed longer than they should have, hoping he would step up, show initiative, and meet them halfway. But when you only one planning dates, doing the emotional labor, trying to solve conflict, and keep the relationship afloat, you start to realize you're basically dating yourself. Many women say they left because they were exhausted from begging from bare minimum. They realized that love should not feel like pulling teeth. A lot of women spoke about growth, or rather the lack of it. Sometimes two people grow in completely different directions. You might start working on yourself, becoming healthy, chasing your goals and reading books, healing your traumas, and suddenly you realize your partner is stuck in the same place, unwilling to change. One woman explained that she looked at her boyfriend one day and realized, if I stay with him, I'll stay stuck too. That was her wake up call to leave, because the truth is love alone is not enough. If your growth scares him or he refuses to involve, the relationship slowly suffocates you. Control and disrespect are also huge reasons women decide to walk away. Many shared stories of men who belittled them, and they talked down to them or constantly criticized them. And basically, let me say this loud and clear: disrespect is not love. Love does not imitate you, love does not make you feel small. One woman said she ended things when she realized she was always walking on eggshells, afraid to speak her truth because she didn't know what the mood would be. That's not peace, that's prison. And sometimes it takes hitting rock bottom to finally see it for what it is. There is also the quicker or the quiet kill of relationship, lack of intimacy. And I don't just mean physical intimacy, I'm talking about emotional closeness, those deep conversations at 2 a.m., laughing until your stomach hurts, feeling safe enough to cry in his arms. Some women say they realized they had felt truly connected to their partners in months, even years without intimacy. Without that spark of closeness, the relationship starts to feel like roommates sharing rent, and eventually, women realize they deserve more than just someone who just existed in the same space as them. So the most interesting part women shared was admitted that he left because they stopped loving their partner, but because they finally started loving themselves more. That moment when you put yourself first is powerful. One woman said she woke up one morning and realized, if I keep choosing him, I'm abandoning me. And that hits so hard. Sometimes the bravest thing a woman can do is walk away from a love that no longer saves her. Even if it's the heart still aches, because at the end of the day, peace of mind, self respect, and happiness are worth it so much than staying in something that slowly breaks you. And let's not ignore the woman who said they ended things because of the future misalignment. Sometimes you love someone deeply, but your visions for life just don't match. Maybe you want marriage and kids, and he doesn't. Maybe you want to travel the world, and he wants to stay in the same town forever. Maybe your values crash in ways that just love can't fix. It hurts. But many women realize forcing a future with the wrong person is worsening than being single and waiting for the right partner. The worst thing I share, Bestie, is that so many women admitted they stayed longer than they should have out of fear. Fear of being alone, fear of starting over, fear of not finding better. But when they finally gathered the courage to walk away, they discovered freedom. They rediscovered themselves. They said the weight lifted on their shoulder was worth every tear, every doubt, and every lonely night they should could handle. Because the truth is, ending a relationship doesn't always mean failure. It can actually be